Hi, it's Peggy McCall. Welcome back to the Way to Riches program. I am delighted that you're here for session number 4. In this session, what I'm going to walk you through are disciplines to guarantee your success. Now, how could I even say that, guarantee? Well, here's what I know for certain is that there are natural laws of the universe, and that when you really get into alignment with these natural laws of the universe, the law of cause and effect, the law of attraction, the law of gestation, the law of vibration, that you will achieve anything that you desire for yourself. I've been at this a long time, several decades, and I have found that through my own study and through my own application of the study and developing disciplines, that my success continues to show up time and time again. But you must be disciplined, must be disciplined. And it's not that it's difficult or not that it's something that can't be done. It's something that when you understand how to create these disciplines in your life, disciplines that are going to put you on that trajectory for success, wow, your life is going to change for the better. So in this session, what we're specifically talking about, what I'm guiding you through, are disciplines that you can implement, that you can choose to implement, that can really make such a positive difference in your life. All right, so let's get into it. I love this quote by James Allen. He said, "People are anxious to improve their circumstances, but unwilling to improve themselves. They therefore remain bound." Now, I believe that this quote is talking about other people, not you. You're in the Way to Riches program. You have decided you're willing to improve yourself, or you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be watching this right now. But what a fascinating idea, right? People really want their results to change. And I hear this time and time again from my own clients, from people that are in my programs, from people that are in the audience. They're like, they want their results to change. And they consistently think the same destructive negative thoughts. They focus on what isn't in their life right now or what is that they're not happy about. And they just continue to recreate and recreate and recreate more of the same. We talked about that in session number 3, right? And so what we're talking about here is being willing to improve your results. And I know you are, or you wouldn't be here. So what I already know about you is that you are committed. You saw the Way to Riches offer and you made a decision to invest in yourself. You decided you're going to follow through. You're somebody who's committed. And the committed, the ones that are really, really staying engaged and following through, are the ones that will reap the rewards forever, right? This life that you're living right now, this life that you've been given, which is a real gift, this day that you've been given, you get to decide, what is it that you want in your life? What is it that you'd love to experience in your life? You get to decide. And we also get to decide, what are we working on, right? What are we working on right now? What are we committed to? What is it that we would love to experience? And you've heard me say the word working, right? It's not a 4-letter word that's not attractive. This is a wonderful word. This is a wonderful word because we can get into momentum of doing things that are so positive, that are so uplifting and so encouraging and strengthen you so that you can continue to experience all the goods that you desire. Now, this quote from Jim Rohn says, "Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment." So deciding what you want is part of a discipline, right? Sitting down and making a decision. What is it that I'd love to experience in my life? And getting really clear on that. Like really, really grabbing a pen, grabbing a piece of paper, a journal, and writing down and becoming very clear on what is it that I would love to experience in my life. That's part of the discipline. But the bridge between having the goal and having it materialize in your life is what I like to call riveting discipline. Riveting discipline meaning you do not give up. You get a hold of that goal. You're excited about it. It's inspiring you. It's keeping you awake at night. It's getting you up in the morning. It's keeping you supercharged during the day. And you're so focused on This is happening. This is absolutely happening. And it's not that you're sacrificing other things. It's not like you're, leaving bodies in your wake along the way. It's that you're having an enjoyable time at the same time while you're disciplined and you're on that bridge going from what you desire into having the experience of it. So good for you for being here. Now, this particular slide is a slide that I borrowed from my wonderful friend and mentor, Bob Proctor. And we've delivered programs together for a number of years. He was my mentor way back when. He still is my mentor. I love that man. He's really, really the person on this earth that's made the biggest difference in my life. And here's what he shared with his audiences. No horse gets anywhere until it's harnessed. Think about that. Horses can run wild, right? They could be out in a field and just going here, there, and nowhere in particular. But when they get harnessed, there's a direction that they're going in. No steam or gas ever drives anything until it is confined. So it has energy attached to it, but when it becomes fine, it can be used for greater good, right? No Niagara, we're talking about Niagara Falls, is ever turned into light and power until it is tunneled. There's another interesting idea. No life ever grows great until it is focused, dedicated, and disciplined. This is a quote by Harry Emerson. Let me put my glasses on so I can read that. Fosdick. Harry Emerson Fosdick said that. So what did he say? Focused, dedicated, and disciplined. Focused, you decide on what you want. You see it as the only solution. You're dedicated to seeing that become the reality that you would love to experience. And discipline, you're disciplined to make it happen. Now, this is one of my absolute favorite quotes. It goes like this: until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all facts of initiative and creation, there is only one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents, meetings, and material assistance which no man could have dreamt would have come his way. What does that really mean? And by the way, I suggest you write this quote down. You could pause this right here, right now, and write this quote down and really think about it. Take a few minutes to really think about this. What does it mean? When you commit, when you decide you're making that change in your life, when you decide you're going to make something happen, where there's a particular goal that you are so passionate about that it's happening. You see, what it says is the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That once you commit to it, then providence moves too. That's where the unseen things happen. That's where the phone rings and it's someone that you never thought would call you, or an unexpected opportunity, or an email lands in your inbox, or something arrives in the mail, or you happen to run into somebody somewhere. Something happens that was not expected. Unforeseen incidents, meetings, and material assistance, which you could have never even dreamed possible, happens. That's where things happen, where you never expected them to happen before, but they do. I had that experience many, many years ago when I decided I was going to buy a house and had no idea how I was going to pay for that house. But I decided, excuse me, I decided I would own it. I became very committed. I made a decision, and I didn't see any other way other than me owning that home. And ultimately, where the money came from that allowed me to buy that home and to close the deal on purchasing that home came from an unexpected source. It came from an initial public offering, which was called an IPO of a company that I was working for. Had I known that in advance, I didn't know where that money was going to come from. I had no idea where it was going to come from. But that was unforeseen experience because I was disciplined and followed through with knowing and believing that the outcome was already mine. So what I'm going to walk you through throughout this session are disciplines, and the whole program is really about the discipline of you experiencing riches and everything that you desire in your life. So it's not so much which ones you do, it's that you're doing something that causes you to feel as if you already have that which you desire, which means making a decision that you're already there, right? Now, Joe Gandolfo says, ideas are a dime a dozen, but the person who acts on them are worth millions. So you see, success, when we look at people who are getting results, it's not necessarily that they had an idea that somebody else didn't have. They may very well have had an idea that other people have had. Have you ever heard somebody say that they see something that's really successful out there in the world, whether it's a product or a service or someone who's doing something that becomes world renowned, and they say, I had that idea. Maybe you've had that experience yourself, but it's not that the ideas aren't out there. There's many ideas. Ideas are floating around all day long. I get ideas almost hourly, but it's the person who acts on them, takes action, right? That's what you've got to be. You've got to become the person who is taking action, not just sitting there and, expecting that the money's going to show up if you close your eyes and you visualize or you listen to an audio, or you've got to do things as well. You've got to take action. So what I suggest is that a practice to get you in the discipline of really being aware of doing things and committing to doing things each week is to create an accountability. And accountability meaning at the beginning of the week, and I do this on my Sunday. So on Sunday, which Sunday is considered the first day of the week, Sunday, or if you want to do it early Monday morning, create a list of the things that you will accomplish each week. Now, all of these things that you're making a list of, the things that you're going to accomplish each week, should be lining up to and contributing to your goal. Even if you don't know how you're going to accomplish all of them, you may know how you're going to accomplish some of them. And get an accountability buddy, somebody that you are going to send your list to, email it to them. That's what I do. Email your list to someone and set the objective that this week you are happy and grateful that you have easily accomplished all of this and more. In the spirit of harmony, with joy. Like, I put words like that all around my accomplishment list. And it could be something like, I easily attract 100 new clients into my life, or I deliver valuable webinars that are contributing to the world in only positive ways, or I create 5 new modules of my new program, like things like that, right? Or I write in my gratitude statement every single day 10 things every morning on what I am grateful for in my life. So, and there could be 5 things on your list of accomplishments, and there could be 25 things on your list. It's not specifically having a certain number, it's having a list, right? It's such a little thing, but it'll make such a big difference in your life. And then at the end of the week, what you do is you send that list to your buddy again, your accountability buddy, and you say, these are the things that I did accomplish last week, and these are the things that I will accomplish this week. Get into the habit of doing that, and I will tell you that your results will increase probably tenfold, if not more. You'll definitely improve your results, you'll increase your results. So accountability is a discipline that when you get in will make a difference in your life. Only write down positive things too. Now, the goals that you're setting for yourself when you're establishing what it is that you'd really love to experience in your life are not about what you'll get. It's not that you're going to get that beautiful car and drive around that car. It's not that you're going to get that gorgeous home and drive around a beautiful home. It's not that you're going to have that relationship. It's not that you're going to generate the money. It's really who you become in the process, because goals are designed to have you grow. That's what goals are for growth, right? They allow you to expand more, to be more, to give more. It's not about what you're getting. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. And it's such a subtle distinction that when you get it, wow, it can make a big difference. I remember when I bought my first dream home, and I had no idea how I was going to buy that. And I remember hearing, it was Tony Robbins talking about the philosophy of stretching. And he said, the philosophy of stretching is not for what you get, it's for who you become. And stretching is where you stretch yourself. You set a goal where you have no idea how you're going to accomplish it, but you know it's a stretch goal for you. And it will cause you to grow. It will cause you to expand. It may even cause you to feel a lot of fear. And if it doesn't, I'd be surprised. Because when we're stretching ourselves, our goals will very likely excite us and scare us at the same time. But it's important that you understand that. So in this process of discipline, it's not that you're not going to be experiencing uncomfort or discomfort, or not that you're not going to be experiencing fear. You'll very likely be feeling those things, but that's when you're growing, right? That's when you're having your growth moments, your growth experiences. Patanjali said, when you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thoughts break their bonds. Your mind transcends limitations. Your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive, and you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. You have so much capacity locked up within you. There's so much more that you can be creating and experiencing in your life. And when you get inspired by some great purpose, like really deciding what is it that you want to experience, some kind of an extraordinary project, it causes you to expand who you are. And then you find yourself in this new, great, and wonderful world. You find yourself having energy, getting ideas, doing things that you've never done before, talents that you never realized that you had. And you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be, which really is in alignment with the goals, right? It's not for what you get, it's for who you become. So part of that discipline is realizing that you're in growth mode. You are becoming so much more today than you were yesterday. It's all about forward, upward movement. And how fast that happens, the acceleration part of that, the process of whether you're moving at a rapid pace or a slow pace, is partially up to you. I say partially up to you because the law of gestation decrees that there is a period of time that will elapse before all things manifest into form. So do the things that cause you to feel as if you are already living that life. Follow those disciplines, do the practices, but at the same time, trust and respect the fact that there will be a period of time that will elapse before your goal materializes, right? But when you're moving forward, upward, when you're focused on becoming more every single day, when you're amplifying the vibration of you experiencing that which you desire, which is part of a discipline, you're moving in the right winning direction, even if you don't see any evidence of it in sight. Now, it's very easy to get off track, and I've seen people, and I've had the experience myself. It's easy to get off track, especially if you find yourself tired one day, or you didn't sleep well, or some unexpected thing happens that just you feel defeated. It can happen. It can happen. So it's easy to get knocked off track. What I'd like you to do is be disciplined and aware that if you find yourself getting back on track, you put yourself back on track. So if you find yourself getting pushed over and it's not that you won't go down, it's just how long you're going to stay there, right? Get yourself right back up again. Reconnect to your goal. Read your affirmations again. Listen to your life script. Do the things that are going to cause you to feel good again. So if you get knocked off track, I get knocked off track. Bob Proctor gets knocked off track. We find ourselves thinking about things that we don't want. Put yourself right back on track again. So just notice it's part of the process, right? So what are you doing and what have you been doing every single day that is moving you in the direction of your goals? Do you get up and do you write in a gratitude journal? Do you read affirmations? Are you reading your goal card? Are you listening to your power life script? Are you doing visualization? Are you taking action towards your goals? Are you studying every single day? What are you doing? What are your daily practices? You see, you have daily practices already. You're very likely getting up in the morning. You might be brushing your teeth. You're probably eating. You might be going to the gym. I mean, there's practices, things that you're driving to your office, whatever it is. There are things that you're already doing every single day. So my suggestion to you is notice what those things are. And they may very well be taking you to where you want to go. But perhaps you could develop some new disciplines that can help you even more, that can take you further, that can make you stronger, right? I want you to think about those things and put them into practice. So one of the things that I've done for myself is I created a daily discipline tracking sheet. All right. This is one of the things that I created for myself that really helped me. Now pay attention to this, really study this. You could just grab a plain old 8.5 by 11-inch sheet of paper and you could just create your own, right? Just right across the top. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then you decide what are the things that you're going to do that are going to be taking you the direction of your goal. By the way, this sheet of paper that I just pulled off my desk is actually my bank statement. And it's my bank statement that's been revised. So I went online, I found my bank statements, and what I did was I copied them, put them into a Word document, and then I changed it. I changed it to reflect my goal, right? So I keep it on my desk here. Obviously, I just grabbed it here. It was handy. And that's part of what I do every single day. That's a new discipline that I created. So I could add it to my list. It could be one of my other items. So you and what you have on this list, this daily disciplines list, is up to you. I'm not saying you have to do these things that I'm suggesting, but you could. And they're very helpful, of course. So you'll see in the activity section, which is along the left-hand side, I have written there, listen to my Power Life script. Exercise, read goals and affirmations, vision board and visualization, gratitude, goal card, and then other. It could be something like studying my bank statements. It could be writing out an affirmation, 100 times a day. It could be investing 30 minutes a day to study and reading from a great book. It could be anything. And then at the bottom of it, I have a measurement tool called on a scale of 1 to 10, not called, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself as far as being, committed to these activities every day? 5, meaning outstanding. 4, as expected. 3, average. 2, could have used more effort. Or 1, almost no effort, right? I don't even have on there no effort, almost no effort. So it could be, I maybe wrote, a few gratitude and not very many. So I could have used more effort on that. Or outstanding, like I went for a workout and I pushed myself further than I've ever done before. So that would be like a 5, right? Or listen to my life script, but I really, really listened, right? I paid attention to what the words were and more importantly to how I felt as I was listening to the life script. So what I suggest that you do, because this can help you, is create your own discipline sheet. Create your own discipline sheet. Something that you can track for yourself the things. First of all, you make a decision you're going to be doing these things, and then you're going to track for yourself whether you're actually doing them or not doing them, right? Isn't that simple? Such a simple technique. This alone is worth 10 times what you paid for this program. Think about it. This is so incredibly valuable. I started this process back in the 90s, and it really helped me stay focused, get focused and stay focused. So I suggest you follow through on this one for sure. There's a wonderful quote in a story called It Works, and it's called It Works by the famous little red book that helps people make their dreams come true. And it says, read the list of what you want 3 times a day. Think of what you want as often as possible. Do not talk to anyone except the great power within you, which will unfold to your objective mind the method of accomplishment. Why I wanted to mention this to you here right now is that you're involved in the study and the execution of creating more abundance in your life, more of everything that you desire in your life. And hopefully you're following through and you're reading and following through and doing these things and putting these disciplines to work in your life. And this is just a simple suggestion it's really summarizing that book, It Works. But what I wanted to focus on here is the power. Do not talk to anyone except the great power within you. So what did the author mean by that? Does that mean you don't talk to your partner, you don't talk to your children, you don't talk to your parents, you don't talk to your siblings? It means that really, really pay attention to energy, right? If you talk to someone who is negative and destructive, somebody who may not believe in all of this stuff, they may want to share with you what their thoughts are around this. Now, you always have the opportunity to accept or reject any idea that comes into your mind, any idea. It's totally up to you. You're the one that's standing control of the door of your mind. You let it in, you let the ideas in, or you don't let them in. So it's not that you don't talk to anyone. I talked to my husband about my goals, my objectives. He was actually in my office a little while ago, and he saw my bank statements on my desk, and I shared them with him, and he said, oh, I like that. And I share it with him because I know he's supportive. I know he believes in this, and obviously he sees the result of it, right? He's living it every single day. But here's what's exciting about this message from the book, It Works. When you read and study and believe that you already have that which you desire, and you're thinking about it all the time, and you trust that the great power within you will unfold it, you'll find the way. I got an email the other day from someone who says, okay, I understand what you're teaching and what you're saying around decide what you want, visualize it. You don't have to know the how, but what actions should I take? You're not telling me specifically what actions. There isn't a specific action that you necessarily need to take. What's most important is that actions could be things like reading every day, like studying every day. However, those actions must lead to you feeling as if you already have that which you desire. And that's where the ideas come from. That's when you'll know more specifically about additional actions that you can take to get you to where you want to go. So what are you going to do now? I want to invite you, encourage you to stretch yourself today. I want you to think about doing something today that's going to cause you to grow, to be more, to give more, to believe more, to experience more. Think about what could you do today? What could you do today? Maybe it is what I just suggested a minute ago. Maybe it's while you're visualizing that rather than just see the image of you living that life and being in that picture, that you get emotionally attached to it. You attach the emotion of feeling what it really feels like to have that right here, right now. And you set a timer perhaps on your phone or on a little timer that you have in your kitchen, or you set a timer where you're going to absolutely give focused attention to the outcome of that which you desire, and you're not going to deviate from it. Perhaps what you're going to do today is you're going to create your own discipline sheet, and you're going to make a list of the things that you're going to do today that are going to take you in the direction of your goals. Perhaps what you're going to do today is find that accountability buddy, someone that you will make your list of what you're intending to accomplish, and you're going to send them that list and say to them, every single Sunday I'm going to send you my list of new accomplishments, and I'll give you an update on what I did, and I invite you to do the same thing. Perhaps that's what you do today, but do something, okay? Pause here right now, don't go any further, and make sure that you do something, all right? Okay, so manifesting, and this is the thing, about our wonderful life that we're blessed to live. It's an ongoing process. It's not that we get to our goal and we go, oh, I'm done now. This is great. We get to recreate some more, right? That's why that's the way we're wired as human beings. We're all about fuller expression and greater expansion. That's how we're made, right? If you're a conscious thinking person on this planet, you will have a desire for more. You'll achieve that goal and then you'll want more. You'll get the house, then you'll want a pool in your backyard. You'll get the car and then you'll want to change it 3 years down the road. You'll get the boyfriend and then you'll want to get married. I mean, whatever it is, it's an ongoing process. So just be excited about that. It's not that there's something wrong with you. I remember many, many years ago being in a relationship with someone who was like frustrated. And I said, well, what's frustrating you? And they said, well, you always want more. Well, it's because I'm human, right? It's not that I'm not satisfied. I love what I have. I'm very grateful for what I have. But there will always be a desire for more. And I think that there was, in his mind, there was something wired in there that said that you shouldn't want more. It's probably the paradigms, not probably, it's the paradigms that he was raised with. That just be happy with what you have, with your lot in life, and that don't want more, don't ask for more. That was the beliefs that he had in his life. Wasn't my beliefs. It wasn't my beliefs after I met Bob Proctor, that is. Before that, I probably had the very same beliefs that he had. Consequently, that relationship didn't end up working out. But if that's something that you've had in your mind, is this something that is just an ongoing process? Absolutely, it's an ongoing process. And we must stay in the study. I'm reading all the time. Every day I'm reading. I'll pick up books. They're not just on the shelf being shelf-help. They're my self-help books. I was chatting with someone this morning, a good friend, and he was talking about something that he's waiting for. It's some papers from the government. And I said to him, I said, listen, tonight when you go to bed, get into the habit of doing the revision process. And he says, what's the revision process? I said, I have on my desk here The Power of Awareness. And actually, it's open right now because I was reading this just the other day, called The Pruning Shears of Revision. And the pruning shears of revision is where you're going to sleep at night and you're revising your day. So you see everything that you wanted to have happen happened, right? The money's in your bank account, the check arrived in the mail, the phone call came in, the email came in, the promotion went out, it was hugely successful. Whatever it is that you desire, see it. Revise your day, that you see your day as you desired for it to be. And he said, and he started giggling. I said, what are you laughing at? He says, I have that same book right here on my desk. And I said, great, turn to chapter 4 and follow what he says. I'm doing that. He said, tonight when I go to bed, I'll do that. Isn't that wonderful? You know, part of what you can do in your discipline for success is share something from a book. One of the things that I do are my morning money classes. And I'm always getting ideas, and people will send me emails and they'll ask me questions, and it'll spark an idea for something that I could either borrow from one of the many books that I've studied or one of my own books, and I can share it. So that can help you. When you help another, it can also help you. So share from your self-help books. I love this. Is this the definition of insanity, or you're not quite there yet? Now, when we're looking at you being this disciplined being who is now doing the things and you're on the right course, you're heading in the right winning direction, sometimes you may have the experience of feeling like it's just not happening, right? Wait a minute. And I talked about that in a past session that we had together in the Way to Riches. So it's a point where you need to really evaluate whether you're just doing things that aren't producing results or you're not quite there yet. And I see this quite often because I work with entrepreneurs who are looking to build their business. I work with authors who are looking to create success. And I'll teach them the things that's going to help them guarantee success. That's the work that I'm blessed to do in this world. And so what happens is, and I'll see this, quite often with new authors that I just meet, they're doing stuff and they don't understand. Excuse me. They're doing things and they don't understand why they're not getting the results that they want. But the things that they're doing are not effective, right? They're not focused on, excuse me, they're not focused on growing their email list. Or they haven't built a proper funnel, proper marketing funnel when they're launching something. So it's not that they're not taking action and they're not doing some things that are taking them to where they want to go. It could be that they need to enhance or slightly modify what they're doing to improve upon it, and that's going to help them get back on track or perhaps even propel them to get to where they want to go. So it is important that we really do notice our results as well, become hyper aware as far as whether the things that you're doing, the indicators, are actually taking you to where you want to go or they're not taking you where you want to go. And that's part of disciplining yourself. So if you don't like where you're going, if you're finding that you're not getting the results that you want, and I'll notice this as well. I'll be doing things or launching things, and if they're not getting me to where I want to go or it's not really serving the world the way I want to serve, I'll modify it, right? Or change direction. And I love this quote, if you don't like where you're going, change direction. It's simple, very, very simple. This is also applicable when you're working toward your goals. You set a goal for yourself, and I know I talked about this in a past session as well, and then you find you're not really inspired. And so you've set a goal. My husband and I are actually going through a similar experience right now with our waterfront property. And we bought this tremendous waterfront property. It's gorgeous. It's a piece of heaven. We get there and we're like, oh my God, I thank you, God. I'm just so thankful for this place. And there's a cottage on the property, which we renovated. And we have a vision for a brand new building on there. And we've been talking to builders and we're looking at getting it surveyed, and we've looked at different models and things like that. And we've talked about doing some other different versions of it. And we'll make a decision, or we'll think about making a decision towards something. And we're like, no, I don't think I want to do that. We thought about building a garage with a loft above it, and maybe we'll just keep the cottage the way it is. So we'll sort of play with that idea for a while. And then within about 24 hours, we're very clear, no, that's not what we want to do. So you set a new goal, right? You set a new objective. When you're feeling you're drawn back or pulled back to one particular goal, or you've thought about a goal and you push it aside, if you find that it keeps revealing itself to you, you keep thinking about it, you get focused on it again, that's probably where you want to go. You want to be working toward goals that are all-consuming, meaning not in a negative way, in a very positive way. They do get you excited. You find yourself, maybe you've thought about it, then you threw it out. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to do it. And you just, but it keeps coming back. You know what? You very likely have a goal that you're passionate about. So you can change direction. So you get to plant a new goal. It's like, well, what would you love? You plant the goal, you replant the goal, you nurture it. And even if you don't know what you want, like I remember when I decided that I was going to buy the Jaguar F-Type two-seater sports car, convertible sports car. And I saw a commercial for this car and it turned my head. And I mean, I like nice cars. I've always driven nice cars, but I've never been like this obsession. I never had an obsession for a vehicle, but I saw that car, you know, that Jaguar F-Type. I remember seeing one. It would be about a mile down the road and I'd see it and it was like, what is that? I mean, it really got my attention. So I decided to go to the Jaguar dealership and I test drove the car. And I loved it. I loved the sound. I loved the feel. My husband went with me and it was just like, wow. And I thought, I'm going to buy that car. But my husband is a more practical kind of guy. He's like, you could buy a house, you know, instead of buying that car. And I allowed him to dissuade me, right? Do I really need that car? You know, I already drive a nice Mercedes. You know, do I need a second car? And I just sort of put it aside. But then I'd see one drive down the road and it would turn my head again. And then I'd see a commercial or see something and I was like, you know what? That's something that I would love. I would love that. We could have as many cars as we want, for goodness sake. So I planted the seed of the idea again. And then I decided I'm ordering it. And I ordered up exactly what I wanted. So that idea was originally planted, and then I sort of didn't nurture it, didn't give it any energy, and then the idea went away, and then I planted the idea again. And as it turns out, when I originally wanted to buy the car, it wasn't available in standard transmission. Now it is. So now I ordered the standard transmission model, but then I nurtured the idea, nurtured the idea, nurtured the idea again. So whatever it is you want, whatever it is that you love, plant the seed of the idea, and then you think about it. But you don't just think about it like, oh, I want that, I want that, I want that. You think about it as if you already have it. That's the nurturing part. The nurturing part is engaging in the emotions and the expression of feeling as if you already have that which you desire right here, right now. All right, that's a discipline. Now pay attention to your disciplines. Pay attention to what you're feeling. A discipline could be to continually feel poor or lack. Pay attention to it, because if you are, you can't feel poor and attract money. You can't feel like you're loaded down with debt and be attracting money. All right? So pay attention to what you consistently feel and focus your attention on. Okay? Really pay attention to that. That's a discipline right there. You see, every single day we've got 1,440 minutes. Now, how many of those are creative and how many of those are destructive? All of them, right? That's why you need to be paying attention to what you're giving attention to. That's why the discipline's so important. Are you focusing on what you want, or are you thinking about what you don't want? And if you're thinking about what you want for 5 minutes a day, is the rest of the day you're thinking about what you don't want? Is the rest of the day you're caught up in fear? Is the rest of the day you're thinking about lack? Right? Just really pay attention. Such a subtle distinction for you to think about. So remember, I want you to be focused on forward and an upward movement for today, for just today, for tomorrow, for next week, and how long are you going to stick with it? I love that. When you're asked, how long do you give an average baby until they learn how to walk? Well, until they learn how to walk, you don't give up, right? You don't give up. You keep working at it. You keep doing the things. You keep implementing ideas. You keep yourself disciplined. You intensify that discipline. You get to a point where you're just a habitually disciplined being, where you're just consistently doing these things and you don't waver. You're always focused on that. I love this quote by Abraham that says, the universe does not know or care whether the vibration of what you are offering, the universe does not care or does not know or care whether the vibration that you're offering is in response to something you're living right now or observing, or in response to something you are imagining. In either case, the universe accepts it as your point of attraction and matches it. This is so powerful. The mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined, right? I learned that in Your Invisible Power by Genevieve Burand. And this is such a powerful quote. Think about it. Stop. Pause. Really pay attention to this. This is why you can live in the space of imagining you have that which you desire, because you are attracting based on what you're feeling. The universe will accept it. When you decide that's what your life is, that's what your bank account is, that's what your home is, that's what your car is, that's what your relationships are, that's what your business is. That's your point of attraction, and it will match it. Just as sure as the sun's going to set tonight and rise tomorrow, it will match it. Please, for your life's sake, for your goal's sake, give this such important attention. I'm giving you the best of what I know in this Way to Riches program. This is the most phenomenal value I think I've ever given. And it's such a low fee for this program. It's so low. And you really put it into practice, and man, your life can change in every way. Now let's wrap up this call. I want to share with you a little bit more about Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard wrote The Power of Awareness. He says you think from your goal. In other words, you know your goal is already done, right? You think from there. That's where you're living in your space of life. The instruction to simply achieve every objective that you're set for yourself. You see, imagination puts us inwardly in touch with the world of states. That's your emotions, right? Your feeling. These states are existent. They are present now, but there are more possibilities while we think of them. But they become overpoweringly real when we think from them and dwell in them. You know, there is a wide difference between thinking of what you want in this world and thinking from what you want. Let me give you an example. You see a beautiful home and you think, oh, I'd like to have that. Oh, that would be something that would be nice. And you're thinking of it. The distinction here is you now see yourself living in it. It's your home. Now you're imagining, vividly real, right? Overpoweringly real. Now you're imagining, this is my home. I'm living in this home. Now you're thinking from the objective, all right? Subtle distinction, and I see people doing it all the time, all right? So he also says, and this is from his book called Manifesting Miracles, the very moment my claim is established to the point of conviction, that moment I begin to draw unto myself the evidence of my claim. Do not question the how of these things appearing, for no man knows that way. The very moment my claim is established to the point of conviction. What does that mean? It's where you know it. Unwavering, right? Nothing's knocking you off. The moment you decide it's yours. This is my life. This is my home. This is my waterfront property. This is my relationship. This is my business. This is my bank account. And you know it to be true. You don't have to know how. That's what he's saying here. That's what I'm saying. That's what Bob said to me so many years. Don't question the how of these things occurring. No man knows. If you knew, you'd have it in your life. You got to trust and you've got to know it's already there. And here's what he says. There is only one cause for failure. That is the absence of the feeling of naturalness. It takes time for an assumption to become a fact, and a desire to is fulfilled, proportionate to the degree of naturalness of the feeling of possession. To the degree of naturalness, you must feel it as if it's something you know with complete and utter certainty, with conviction. I know the sun's going to set tonight. I feel very natural about that. The sun's going to set. I also feel very natural that I will achieve the goal. I have already achieved it in my mind. I think from the goal that I've set for myself. You must discipline yourself to do that as well. That's why scripting your life, which you've heard me talk about in the 7-day miracle, right? You've heard me talk about this before. Script your life. You write out a detailed description of your life as if you've already achieved it. Every aspect of your life that's most important to you in the present tense, and you listen to it, right? You record it. And you reprogram your subconscious mind. You're listening to it over and over again. You revise it, you re-record it again if you find that there's something in there that you want to change, until it gets to a point where it's so natural. It's like when things happen for me and I'm thinking, of course, I program my mind to receive. These things are happening right on target, just as planned. And it makes me smile every time. Because it works, and it works magnificently. I see myself as the woman that I choose to be. I created an identity board. I put my picture in the middle. All the things that I know are prerequisite for the fulfillment of the life that I choose to live. And I see myself as that person. I become that person. I live that life every single day. I step into the role or the persona of someone who is wildly successful. That's what you do. You see yourself, you become that person, and sometimes it's an acting job. It's pretending, right? We look at movies where we see an actor or an actress who is portraying a role that's so convincing. We're sitting in the audience at a movie theater and tears are streaming down our face. It's made up, but we feel it's real because they have so much conviction in the role that they're portraying. I remember one time Sir Anthony Hopkins was on Oprah Winfrey's show, and he played Hannibal Lecter in all those movies, right? And he was a serial killer. He was a mean, horrible person in the movie. That's the role that he portrayed. And Oprah Winfrey asked him, he said, do you ever have any challenge stepping outside of that role once you finished filming? And he said, yeah, every time, because he becomes so convinced that's who he is. He practices the discipline, becomes such a phenomenal actor that that's who he becomes. He steps into that role. And it works just as well in a positive role, in an incredible role, in an invigorating role. So step into the role of you living the life that you desire. Get disciplined to do that. And then really pay attention. Am I feeling like, am I really believing it? Neville Goddard says the degree is the naturalness. You must feel as if it's true. So if I sat you down in my office and I hooked you up to a lie detector or a polygraph machine, and I said to you, you have already achieved your goal. Do you believe that to be true? And you said yes. Would the polygraph machine tell me that you're being deceitful? That you don't really believe it? See, you have to pay attention to that. Are you really, really, really believing it? You're the one that's in control of how you feel. And if you haven't been doing that, or you're not doing that, or you think you can't do that, change your mind about it. Decide that you can. Again, that is discipline. Everything we're talking about is discipline. You must feel an exact match on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 meaning you feel as if you're already there. The goal is to feel as if you're already there, right here, right now. Everything that you desire. So get into the habit and the practice of feeling as if you're already there all day long. Go back to that bonus in the Way to Riches program, the Miracle 7, where I talk about the disciplines for you to experience success, 7 things that you can do for 7 days. But don't just stop. After 7 days, I suggest 7 days to get you into the habit, to get you into a momentum, so that those disciplines become something that you're doing every single day. For every discipline effort, there is a multiple reward. Your life is going to change in only positive ways. You're going to be pleasantly surprised seeing things materialize in your life with ease, with joy, with harmony. Be very clear on what it is that you would love to experience. Create the disciplines that are going to get you to where you want to go and put them into practice today. All right? Today. Because your success is absolutely guaranteed. It is absolutely guaranteed. That's the world that we live in. We've got that opportunity. But you to experience it, you've got to play your role in it. The universe is saying yes. It's a big answering machine that says yes to your desires. What is it that you want? What are you committing to? What are you disciplined to? Because you're going to be successful. I believe in you. You're here. You're watching this. You're on session number 4. We got 2 more sessions, live sessions, plus all the bonuses. Get into all the bonuses. Make sure that you follow through. And I look forward to being back with you in session number 5.